Hello, hello. Welcome to the Mystic Path. This is your new moon in Leo reading for July 28th. Happy birthday, Leos. I'm a Leo. My birthday's tomorrow. Apologies if you hear any noise. It just started raining and my washing machine is going. So apologies. I have some music playing in the background. Hopefully that will help. New moon in Leo, the 28th. I channeled some information here. We'll talk about that. Then we'll read from the book. We're going to use Moonology, Yasmin Boland, and artwork by Nix Rowan. Whisper of Healing by Angela Hartfield. Guide to the Oracle Arts, Katania Tilovich and Mikhail Summer. And The Archangel Metatron by Amanda Ellis and Jane Delaford Taylor. Artwork. Boy, it is raining good, which is good. We need it, but and I love rain. It's all about renewal. But it has not rained in days, and I did not think it would rain today, so I'm happy to hear the nice pitter-patter of the rain. Okay, so happy birthday, Leos. Happy birthday to me. Let us get started. We just are closing out a cycle. On the 13th, we had a full moon. We closed out a cycle. There's a lot of roughness going on, right? For a good week or so after that full moon. So I know we've all been going through it as a collective, as individuals. So the good news is this new moon in Leo is going to bring a lot of new beginning energy, a lot of creative energy. This card says the confidence is the key to your success, right? So we're going to start feeling better. In the full moon we just had, and in that reading we had talked about, there was going to be in society and in individuals, there's going to be a lot of questioning, right? Of like, do I believe this? Who actually am I? Who do I want to be? What is it I actually think? Am I willing to stand in that truth? Or am I just going to keep following along with like societal and familial programs that, were indoctrinated into me as I was growing up? Religion, all of it, right? Etc. So the good news is now, hopefully, we've worked out some of these issues. They've come up to be seen. We've worked out some compromises, right? So we can move forward and start some new paths, new way of doing things, new beginnings, right? So this new moon energy is gonna be a little bit smoother. However, there's always work to be done, right? So this moon is going to bring up a little bit around our fear of like criticism and judgment. And what's going to be illuminated in our experience is whether or not we have the ability to accept constructive criticism, right? Because constructive criticism is good for us. Being able to receive, hear, listen to constructive criticism about yourself makes you self-aware. It helps you grow and change and transform. Okay? It helps you step closer to being that best version of yourself that we're all trying to be on some level, right? So, this energy that's coming in with this new moon is also going to be very creative. I am an artist. I talk about it all the time on this channel. I'm a Leo. I'm a double fire sign. Fire energy is all about like passion, creativity, seeing things in a different manner, right? So I'm excited for I love Leo season because I'm a double fire sign. So it's a time where I usually feel really good and I feel very empowered and confident, and I execute. I'm on top of my game in Leo season, it feels like. And I know a lot of that has to do with the energy around Leo, right? So this is a new moon. So this is a good time to start a fresh chapter, especially in our work projects, but also, in our personal and romance and partnerships, whatever. Leo energy is very passionate, I was just saying. So we're going to feel like ignited and inspired to express ourselves and let our inner child like out to play and to just live and enjoy it, right? Now, that's the fun side of it, right? But there's always, right? There's always dark and light and everything, right? So, woo, the spirits are here. I'm getting ready to sneeze. Apologies if I sneeze. There could also be some unexpected revelations or news that kind of spurs that action, right? Kind of pushes you forward and says, that's it. I've had enough. I'm ready to start a new path. I'm uncomfortable enough that I'm moving into a new direction, into a new chapter, into a new path, right? A friend and I were talking about this the other day, and I was kind of saying to her that, there's a lot of upheaval right now in the collective all over the globe, but we're in the States, and so we have a lot going on here. And we were just talking about that, and I was saying, sadly, humans don't like change, right? And change is a very slow process. If you study history over history, it's a very, very slow, drawn-out process, right? So, humans sometimes, in order to force change, need to just be made incredibly uncomfortable, right? So, somebody said to me once, change happens when the fear of staying the same outweighs the fear of change, right? Of the unknown. So people don't really like to change because they know what they're in, right? And that's comfortable. And they don't know what is ahead or what's on a new path, and that can be scary. So humans sometimes need to be made so uncomfortable in their current situation that they move and they make plans and they start moving in new directions. And so I feel like that's kind of what's happening in the States, but also globally to the human collective, is humanity is being pushed to evolve, to grow, to get out of this like base level existence where it's all just like fighting and money and violence and upheaval and oppression, right? We're being called, I think, it's time. It's been thousands of years. It's time for us to kind of like level up a little bit. And I feel like the reason why there's been so much chaos happening in like the last four-ish, five-ish years in the globe is because in order to make humans evolve, we have to be made uncomfortable, right? So when we're made uncomfortable, so sometimes this stuff comes up, right? Even in a new moon, even where the energy feels good and you feel ready to go, and right? uncomfortable stuff can come up, but that uncomfortable stuff will spark you into like the new path, the new way of doing things, the new directions, right? But like I said, change is hard. So you may find that you start to experience, as you're on the brink of this like moving forward, you'll start to experience like resistance and lots of challenges in your life. And these energies really are just kind of like piling on to kind of push you, that final push onto the new path, right? So just try to remember, if you start feeling doubt, if you're trying to make a change in your life and you start feeling doubt, or you start feeling resistance and fear, just try to remember to push through that last little bit, because that's where you get on the new path and the new direction, and you let go of the old things that challenge you and hold you down, right? Okay, Leo season also is the energy is very conducive to like building our self-confidence and building a healthy pride, right? Like I said, when it's Leo season, I'm like in it. I'm like in my vibe. It's like I thrive during that time, because that energy is all about like being confident, knowing your worth, knowing what you're good at, what you're not good at, assuming self-responsibility, and taking anything like I was saying, how I'm in my vibe and I feel good, right? So those are the times that I feel like my cup is full and I have extra to give. And so this is also, Leo season is also a good time to, like, if your cup is full and you can help fill somebody else's cup, even if it's just like a little pour, now is a good time to do that. And the energy is very conducive to that. The energy is very conducive to kind of like stepping outside of ourselves and sharing our passions and sharing our abundance, right? And we just have to remember that when we overcome the challenges and the resistance and the fear, and we change and we start out on a new path and we start change, even if it's baby steps, what you're doing when you push through that little bit of resistance is you're actually opening things up to let abundance in. And then you can receive good things in your life, success, blessings, whatever you call them, right? So again, to recap, our inner child's going to want to come out to play, find new ways of expressing ourselves, find new paths, and the energy is very supportive of making significant changes. So it's the time to act, right? It's time to make plans and set the stage so that you can start to receive your dreams and your desires and the things you're working hard towards having, right? Your goals. So with that seems like a good place to start pulling cards. And since we just left off with like all this creative energy, doing things differently, let your inner child out. We're going to start out with our art oracle deck. This was a gift from a friend, and it was like such a good pick for me. I had actually used it a lot. If they are ready. Okay. I like it. Okay, so new moon, July 28th in Leo. New moon, July 28th in Leo. New moon, July 28th. Man, wow. Okay. Frida came out also in the full moon reading. So she's just here for July. I'm for it. Anyone else for July 28th, new moon in Leo, July 28th? No? Only Frida? Frida? Why did I say Frido? Sorry. Apologies, Frida. Okay, I think, yeah. She's insistent. It's her. There's no one else but her for this new moon. And she was in the full moon reading as well. We just had the full moon on July 14th, I think it was. So she's here for all of July, baby. Leo season, bring it on. And Cancer season, because the full moon was in Cancer. So again, it says convalescence lasts a lifetime. You don't spell painting without pain. Art is your most loyal companion. Externalize your internal world. Okay, so in the full moon reading, the message was a little bit different. It was more kind of about like when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling your shadow coming up for you to face and deal with. Like a good way to do that is with art, right? And I'm also here. So for this, okay, I got it. It's interesting because this card is split, right? The moon, emotions, the sun, passions, and desires, right? So in the full moon reading, so now I get it. I get it now. I got it. Thank you, Frida. The reason she was the only card is because she says, I am the only card this month. Okay. She's very confident and I love it. Okay, so basically, what we were talking about in the full moon was this. Use art when your shadow is overtaking you, when you're in the darkness, when you're feeling overwhelmed. It will heal you and move you forward to this place. And even in this place, art is very helpful for you because it will help you manifest your dreams, right? So we were talking about earlier, this is a really good time to make changes and make a plan. Well, she's saying you can make a plan by being very creative about it and expressing it in a way that you maybe normally wouldn't, right? Like for some people, it's going to be writing. For other people, it's going to be painting or clay or watercolors, the whole thing. Anyway, there's a mazillion mediums out there. But she's just saying that art is like the consistent thing. It says, art, your most loyal companion, right? Let's also read about her as a person because, okay. Central to Frida Kahlo's vibrant work is her dramatic physical appearance. With use of Mexican folklore and symbolism, many of her intimate paintings address intensely personal experience. Her troubled relationship with artist Diego Rivera, her revolutionary politics, and her wounded body injured by polio in childhood, a traffic accident in young adulthood, and multiple surgeries thereafter. Posthumously, Kahlo became a household name and contested feminist icon. Her striking image lives on through biopics, internet homages, embarrassing murals, as well as rigorous museum programs. Very good. Now we understand why it's all about you for both the full and the new moon. That is great. Find your passions, let your inner child out, people. Use art. Also, she just said, use art to stand up for what you believe in, right? In the full moon reading, we talked a lot about like what happens in our own experience when the collective is going through some serious ideological and political upheaval. And she was very revolutionary for the time, especially for a female, to even speak out about those kinds of things publicly. Like women used to get killed for that kind of thing, right? So I think she's also here this month because there is going to be a lot of stuff going on collectively around the entire globe. And she's saying if you're having trouble coping with those things and you're having trouble finding your way through, if you're finding yourself lost in the grief and the suffering, paint, or be creative. Let your inner child out, okay? I'm sorry I said paint because that is a message that's directly for me. I've been getting nudged for like, I don't know, 3 weeks now to get all my paints out and start painting. And I just haven't done it. And I got it loud and clear. So this is a message not just for all you guys, also for me. Okay, Amanda Ellis. Let's pull some Amanda Ellis. New moon. New moon in Leo, July 28th. Whoa, right away. Anything else? Yep, okay. And these, man, the cards are ready to talk today. Priorities, building blocks for life. I dropped this other one on the floor, so let me see if I can get it without. Of course it is. Transformation, light and dark, which pretty much just goes with everything I was saying, right? Also mimics the Frida card, right? I mean, she's got the dark and the light, and then we have the dark and the light here. Okay. Building blocks for life. Is what they want me to read. We've already talked a lot about transformation. They also said, please go back and rewatch the full moon on July 14th video that also has Frida in it because you may hear the messages differently now that you've gotten through the full moon. Okay, so we're going to read 52 priorities, building blocks for life. Metatron brings your attention today to your priorities. Maybe they are unbalanced. Maybe you have spent too long on one thing at the expense of another. Or maybe you have spread yourself too thin by overcommitting and running yourself ragged. Stop for a moment and think about what is really important right now. What needs doing today? What can wait until tomorrow? Just as Archangel Metatron has many angelic helpers, you are reminded to allow others around you to help you build whatever you wish for. Build a network of those you can trust, friends, family, acquaintances, those who share your vision regarding whatever you wish to do, be, or bring to this earth. Whatever you want in your life is being protected and held in place by Metatron's radiant wings. You are asked to focus on the rainbow pyramid at the center of his wings. The pyramid is a symbol of stability and balance. You need a strong foundation underneath you in terms of people, resources, and energy to facilitate the growth in your life that you seek right now. You cannot grow upward, whether in spiritual or material terms, without first having taken care of life's necessities. The red energy at the base of the pyramid is the energy of survival, building from a strong foundation of security and well-being. So often we seek spiritual enlightenment in some far-off place or dimension. Yet spirit is in the earthly tasks too, caring for children and pets, cleaning houses and washing clothes. You cannot grow upward, whether in spiritual or material terms, without first having taken care of life's necessities and demands. These are life's building blocks. You cannot truly find peace if you haven't taken care of what needs your attention first. There will be times when you need to ask for help, both from your angelic support and earthly friends. You don't need to battle alone. To create anything worthwhile takes many forms of energy and many skills and talents. You may need to reach out, learn something new, delegate or employ others to help. Or you may need time alone, knowing the home fires are still burning. Remember that life is a rich tapestry of many colors. Make time for everything that brings you joy and happiness, whether that be exercise, reading a book, meditation, travel, etc. There is time to try it all, but not without prioritizing your time. To create something beautiful in your life, you need to assess the order in which things need to be done. This card also asks you to look at where you give your time, energy, and attention. Today, look at what is important and what isn't, and then from that wise, considered place, everything will start to flow. This also goes with what I was saying about, if you have your foundation built and you have abundance and your cup is full and you have the energy to help fill someone else's cup, then do that, right? I feel like at the end there, that's what the card was saying. That was saying and even with Frida being here, I'm hearing, get involved. If you don't like something you see in society, we talked again about in the full moon reading about how things are shifting and changing, and all this conflict is because we have to have all this conflict and disharmony to find our way to compromise and harmony, right? So I feel like this is basically saying if you have a good foundation and you're stable and you have enough, and you have extra and you can give, whether it's time, money, donations, whatever it is, if you have extra time, get involved politically. If you don't like the way things are going, or you want to see some different kind of change in your world, you can be the change. You can use your time and prioritize it in a different way, and you can start fighting and giving and standing up for what you believe in and getting involved politically to help make those changes happen, right? Because action is very important. We talked about that in the full moon reading. Again, my guides are saying these two readings kind of go together, and you should watch, you should go back and watch the full moon reading if you haven't seen it already, because it will be helpful. These two, it's funny, they directed me immediately to this again, and they're saying these two readings are going to work like this, right? They're going to be symbiotic, like night and day. They're going to give you a full picture of the transformation that's taking place and what you can do, right? Action is important. We talked about that in the full moon reading. So again, let's pull a healing card really quickly, and then we'll wrap it up because the messages have come in very clear and concise. Thank you, spiritual team, and all who participated. We are grateful that these readings have come out so clear and concise, and they go together well. Gives me hope, and as I'm sitting here, I'm being drawn to all this light, right? This card, very full of light. Same here. Even this card, the light is shining through the lion, right? So this is making me feel good. It's giving me hope that we're going to start moving on new paths in the collective and making things better. Okay. None. Okay, sorry. Okay. What healing card do we need for this new moon? Okay. It's this one. Okay. Positive-minded people. Positive-minded people. And look at that card. I feel like immediately I'm feeling like these bubbles are like that little harmonious world I was talking about, where we can all be ourselves and be in our own individual bubble of this is who I am and this is how I live and this is what I believe. But it's like it's respected, right? It's in a bubble because it's respected. Everybody's in their own respected bubble, and none of the bubbles are popping, right? Because it's harmonious. When you respect my rights to believe and do and what I want, and where I respect your rights, and we don't start trying to control each other and like pop each other's bubbles because I don't agree with your bubble, so I'm gonna pop it. See, we're working towards this. Positive-minded people. I'm gonna read from the book, but we need to start thinking the impossible is possible, I just heard. Using our imaginations and our talent and our creativity to find a new way to create this new world that we all desperately want. Positive-minded people. Spending time with people who elevate you and help you see things from a fresh perspective will help you disengage from negative emotions. When you are surrounded with love and peace, you protect yourself from negativity. You can create so many positive shifts in your life by hanging out with people who are empowering. Connect with people who have the same values as you. Your friends are a reflection of you. Remember to express love and compassion to the people you surround yourself with. Release any guilt you may have about avoiding a person or situation that doesn't feel right to you. Ooh, that's a good one. I needed to hear that. A woman and a young child play with soap bubbles. Bubbles usually mean there are blessings around you. Here they depict the diverse facets of your life and the positive possibilities that surround you. Right? It's what I was saying. This is the possibility. If you find yourself drained after being with certain individuals, look around you to find a positive way to disengage. Have uplifting friends and encouraging the people around you can create magic in your life. All right, we're going to leave it there because that was so good. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below if this helped you. I always like hearing if the readings help. These two readings have made me feel better because I know that there's a lot of chaos going on where I live right now, and it's a lot, especially for someone like me who can like feel what's happening in the collective. It's a lot to deal with. So I feel hopeful, at least, that the energy is supporting us in the action plans forward for change and new way of doing things and experimentation. Okay. Have a wonderful day or evening. Please share if it resonates, like I said. Namaste.